What's good, everybody? It's Big Game James, man. You know what it is. We back in these streets. We back in these cold work streets. And it's even colder now that we just got these damn Commanders and Eagles in the damn NFC Championship game. That's crazy. Well, what's everybody? Everybody's Big Game James. I just thought I'd jump in and make a quick video right quick. This ain't gonna be long. I told myself I was gonna have an epic rant yesterday on Twitter about Washington and Philly being in there, but it ain't gonna be no epic rant because I'm low key over it. I'm just gonna love my Cowboys and love my Cowboys. I don't know what else to say, but so anyway. I don't know. I know I made a couple tweets about what I saw, after I saw the game. Kudos to Washington. I don't even want to give them kudos because I hate that team. I hate Washington more than I hate anybody. I hate them more than San Francisco, Philly, Pittsburgh. I got 5 hated teams, and they're my number one most hated team. I hate Washington. Like, I can't stand Washington. They make me sick. I just don't like Washington. A lot of my friends are Washington fans. I don't know. When I came up in them 70s and 80s, it was always Washington Cowboys. It wasn't ever no Washington Philly. That's why I don't be tripping on Philly. I don't like to see Philly if they got to another Super Bowl just because we got to listen to all these damn content creators and shit on my Twitter and stuff, and I get tired of hearing them. They're annoying. Like Jared Verse, they just annoying as hell. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't want to hear that. Commander fans are annoying. But they just hit me a different way because, like I said, I was going through them 70s, them 80s, especially them 80s when it was really Cowboys and Redskins going back and forth, really banging with each other like no other, like they was scrapping, like them was heated battles. And to this day, I just can't stand to watch the Commanders, Redskins, whatever the other one called. But I gotta give props to them. I don't want to give them no props. I gotta give props that They were in that purgatory. I made videos from 99 to 23 with Daniel Snyder. Purgatory, coach upon coach, scheme upon scheme, failure after failure. Just the same thing over and over. And I told you how Daniel Snyder wanted to be like the Jones boy. Always want to try to copy him and whatever. And it's funny because you try to be like him and emulate him, and that's why you was emulating him. Nothing but failures. Because you was imitating his failures. So everything you was copying failures. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what Jerry and them have been having, failures. They can call successful seasons that you won 10 or 11 games, but you know what? There was a standard here, and they also ran into the standard here with the Dallas Cowboys. There was a standard here, winning championships, going to playoffs year in, year out, competing for championships. That hasn't really been happening under Jones since, we already know, since 95. But, hey, they beat them Lions. I still think the Lions are a good team. I don't think they were an overrated squad. I don't think that they just ran into a team that had nothing to lose. I said, Commanders, like I told you with George Carmi, my guy with the Washington Commanders content creator, he said house money. They're gonna be playing with house money this year because they had nothing to lose. They had nothing to worry about. This was a free year for them. You had a new owner, new general manager, new coach, quarterback, new free agents, draft. This was a throwaway year for the Washington Commanders. So anything that they played with was, like we talked about, house money. So I said they were going to have some games this year that they were going to win, that nobody thought they were going to win, just because the fact of you don't got nothing to lose. You get what I'm saying? This is a throwaway year. If you showed any kind of marketable improvement, you were happy. So you could play free, you could play crazy, you could take gambles, you could do things that you didn't have to, that you probably wouldn't normally do. Some teams don't normally do all this just because, expectations. Just like with with the Houston Texans. C.J. Stroud's a dog. You feel what I'm saying? He's a dog. He was a dog when I saw him his first year. And yes, I said there was going to be natural regression the next year, which I think is going to be the same thing with Commanders because now they got expectations. Now you just got to an NFC Championship game. Now them Commander fans are going to have expectations next year, so it ain't going to be as easy next year or from here on out. But I do believe Jaden Daniels is the truth. I do believe he is the legit. That's why he went the second pick in the draft. He is legit. I think there's going to be regression for him next year, but the way he's been throwing in and out the pocket, he's a legit quarterback, and he's going to be a problem for a long time. You get what I'm saying? I ain't tripping on no Dan Quinn still, but he is a leader of men. I will definitely give him that. He's a leader of men. And just like I said, like Magic and them said, we came with the thought, we came with the process, we put the right people in place, then we moved out the way and let them do their thing. And guess what happened? It's not a coincidence to me that Daniel Snyder was doing all that dumb stuff that whole time, and you weren't winning. That's the reason why, because so much distraction and stuff was going on at the top, and you didn't win. And now when you moved, they removed yourself out, or they removed yourself instantly, it hit. Just like them Bengals with Burrow. When they got Burrow, you got Mike Brown, who's one of the most notorious, cheapest owners out there, and he's at the same level with Jerry Jones being the owner, president, GM, all that. Purgatory. Bengals, nothing. They got Burrow. He stepped out the way for a little bit, and guess what? Bam, they went to a Super Bowl. I'm just saying, it starts from the top. So all these people that were talking about, man, see, if we had Dan Quinn, we should have got rid of Mike McCarthy and kept Dan Quinn, because Dan Quinn could have been the next coach. It wouldn't have happened here, and I said it on my Twitter. I don't give a hell if Dan Quinn was the next coach of the Dallas Cowboys. The same crap would have happened here. And none of that stuff that he did over there in Washington this year would have happened in Dallas. I just don't believe that, because the Dallas Cowboys ain't changed like the Commanders did. They exited out that whole ownership and all that mess. And guess what? Now new beginnings, good things happen. That mess is still going on in Dallas. Okay? Dallas is still taking their time and want to build how they want to build and do it how they want to do it. And they ain't rushed, and ain't nobody pushing them, and ain't nobody telling them what to do. And they're just, they're cool with, hey, we'll just slow cook it, and we're right there. We're right there. But you're not right there. You're not right there, because so many other teams that are coming out of nowhere are advancing, and Dallas is not. They're still in the same place. They're still wild card, divisional, out. Still the same thing. Still the same process. And then you got the Eagles, who just went to a Super Bowl a few years ago. And I ain't saying Jalen Hurts is a world beater, but he does win games. You feel what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they got a good program over there with Philly. I ain't nobody talking, and somebody jumped in my comments last time talking about that's loser talk. It ain't no damn loser talk. It's what it is. They got an organization that's doing things that they need to do to stay on top and in the mix year in and year out. And guess what? That's what's happening. So you know how to pause, because we're in these work streets. But as I said before, Dan Quinn wouldn't have came over here and did that in Dallas. He wouldn't have, he might have been given a little bit of power, but it had been the same dysfunction that goes on at the top. Meddling. I don't care if they meddle a little bit, they do a lot, they still be in the way. And there's something fundamentally going on from the top with the Dallas Cowboys, and it trickles down. And yes, I'm talking about players be choking too. Coaches be choking too, so it ain't just me blaming Jerry and Steven and the Joneses for these 30 years of purgatory and failures. The players have dropped the ball. The coaches have missed the mark too. So anybody who jump out there and be saying, you always want to blame the Joneses. No, I'm blaming players too. It takes all. It's all one thing. It's the players. It's the coaches. It's the organization. It's all one thing. At the end of the day, it's failure. But as I said before, I hate seeing the Eagles and the Commanders in the NFC Championship game, and the Eagles just went to a Super Bowl a few years ago, choked, missed the playoffs, and now potentially could be right back in there. They're doing something right, okay? They're doing something right. They got Super Bowl appearance. In 2017 they got a win. They got another Super Bowl appearance, and then they just might have another one. And so say what you want. I ain't sweating no Philadelphia Eagles. I ain't saying Jalen Hurts is great. But yeah, I am a little jealous that Jaden Daniels and Jalen Hurts have already been in championship games. Dak Prescott hasn't. Yeah, I'm a little jealous of that. And yeah, I made a tweet, and I'm getting ready to get off of this because people want to jump all on my Twitter. When I made a tweet that, damn, Jaden and Jalen already been in championship games before Dak Prescott, that just got me thinking, man. Just be frustrating. And yes, I already told y'all the Dallas Cowboys have not done Dak Prescott any favors all the time by making him have to do everything it seems. You know what I'm saying? They don't give him everything he needs to be effective and great. But when it did happen, there were shortcomings. So I am going to say that. So if you got an organization who is still doing them same things, then the players and coaches have to rise above that and play great. And I don't know if we have those players in the building that can rise above this front office and take it to the next level. And that's what I'm saying. So stop all you butthurt Dak Prescott fans. When somebody says something, y'all want to get butthurt and super sensitive on Twitter and going crazy. Not my dogs, but want to get all sensitive and show me all these damn stats. You don't got to show me those stats. I watch the damn same games like you do. I watch it too, okay? I'm tired of hearing it. Dallas be shortcoming. And if this organization is still not doing everything it possibly can to make you a competitor year in and year out, that means the team has to rise above it and play damn near perfect football. And I don't think we got the players to do that. That's just my opinion, because it ain't happened yet, and I don't see the Cowboys changing for what they're doing or moving away from where they are. So that means the Cowboys still got to play perfect damn football. And when I don't see it happening, I don't see our talent rising above this organization. And if we're talking about coaching, there's always a plethora of coaches now. Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson. Now they're talking about Schottenheimer, whatever. But I still think it's going to be Kellen Moore, especially if they get to a Super Bowl. You don't think Jerry and them are going to pull Kellen Moore and say, hey, come back over to Dallas. We never wanted you to go. And then it's out there in the streets how Kellen Moore left on his own. Nobody told him to leave, and they never wanted him to leave anyway. You don't think they don't want to reel him back in after him going to a championship game as an offensive coordinator, and they feel like they homegrown him because he came over here from Linehan, and they homegrown him like Jason Garrett. I told y'all, go watch that video I did with Danny Phantom. Dan Rogers with Blogging the Boys. I told you, it's eerily similar of how the Jason Garrett and Kellen Moore, it's the same. And how will they not pick him? Kellen Moore's still only 35, 36 years old. They got a 10-year window. They can add Jason Witten to their staff. They can mold him the way they want. And then they can say, this is our guy because we homegrown him. And we want him to come on back to Dallas like the prodigal son and bring us back to glory. I don't know where in that scenario that does not happen, in my opinion. So, yeah, I see all these other candidates. But Kellen Moore was somebody they groomed since 2019. They kept him even when Mike McCarthy was there. You can't tell me he wasn't a coach in waiting. And now he's at a championship game with the Philadelphia Eagles. And if he gets to a Super Bowl, no less if they win it, you don't think Jerry and them ain't going to be beating down his door to tell him to come back to Dallas? You think they're going to give them under other candidates when they've been grooming him since 2019? They're going to mess with them other guys. They don't go with people they ain't familiar with. Now, all of a sudden, they're going to think outside the box, and they got Kellen Moore sitting right there, and they'll offer you the world, and they're going to give you more control because it's their guy, and they want to prove everybody they're right. So if they bring him back in the building and he's the head coach, they will give him the keys and the tools to be successful because they want to be right. Not just about him winning. They want to be right. So they would do what they need to do for Kellen Moore, for them to be right and say, told you so. How is it not? Y'all can't tell me any different. So it is what it is. Same old thing. Whatever. Just frustrated for the simple fact the Commanders. Like I said, the Eagles, they bother me. But y'all still got to catch up. But them damn Commanders is right there as far as championships. And I just can't stand them. And to let them come back out of nowhere, 33 freaking years longer than Dallas, and they come out of nowhere, bro, and they're ahead of Dallas right now, that's just disgusting to me. Big Game James, I'm out. Peace.